Yeah, so my name is James IZ, and I want you to completely ignore this big blemish that has graced my face and pay attention to this picture. Oh yeah, we're doing it right now, okay? So yeah, this is like a 27-minute video, but I watched the first 10 minutes and see on how I like it, to be honest with you, because it's interesting. I saw this on Instagram as an out-of-context screenshot of a YouTube video, so hey.
Do you guys like this hat I made for the video?
Absolutely not. No, I do not like that hat.
It's so silly. I love it.
So silly.
Anyways,
Okay.
Take it off because it's way too loud. So long as powerful men and women have existed, by their side was always a clown, jester, or fool. Take the fool in Shakespeare's play King Lear, or Roman Roy of Succession.
Yes, very serious.
Not exactly historically accurate, certainly relevant to the modern day, however. Anyways, the social...
Clearly she makes videos on certain niche subjects that you would have to probably have a prior knowledge on, because I have no clue as to what the she is talking about besides a clown or like a court jester or something. I don't know.
The subject that exists between these two figures is pretty unique compared to other sovereign-subject relationships. The fool entertains and sometimes provides advice to the king, who in turn gives him the means to live by.
Huh?
Also, the fool can...
Okay, wait, so like the king takes advice from the fool? King takes advice from the jester? I thought that he would just laugh at him or something and then kill him right afterwards, and then just have his replacement by next week or something.
If he believes it's not being reciprocated. And yeah, he retains quite a bit of independence, with his job being essentially to criticize the king for fun. But however, this relationship requires quite a bit of trust. And if the nature of his foolery is found out to be malicious, then his head could end up on a stake.
Yeah.
And this dynamic becomes especially interesting when learning about the role that disabled people played in the Tudor courts as essentially court fools. In this video, I'm going to challenge you to leave behind the notion that just because something existed in the past means it was more backwards. More specifically, disabled people were treated worse the farther back we go in time. This is a misconception I'm sure most of you have, and I certainly had before.
I certainly have that misconception, ma'am, because the only notable thing of like a history that like I know of disabled people in the past was it was like what, like the 1930s or like the 1920s or some shit, or like the, like the early 1900s, where they would lock them up in these asylums and do experimentations on them. Did autistic people exist during the medieval ages? Hold on, wait, did they really exist back then?
Or researching in this video because of so much fucking historical misinformation.
So like she's not talking out of her ass, like she's like an actual historian, and like she just like she has proof and evidence that autistic people existed.
History in general remains a pretty overlooked subfield in the larger scope of history. And the people that are disability historians primarily focus on physical disabilities rather than cognitive disabilities. But for the purpose of
disability historians, just imagine going to college and your major is knowing the history of disabled people.
This video, I'm going to be focusing on the latter. In the medieval and early modern records I used for this video, people who with cognitive disabilities were described to be idiots or fools. Because of the lack in medical and psychological advancements, these terms were used pretty loosely to describe people that were basically different.
Yeah.
When analyzing history, especially disability history, it's important not to impose our modern day morality on people of antiquity, because it was a different time. But at the same time, we can't erase the derogatory nature of words like fools and idiots. They were seen as inferior, and we still are seen as that today. So when I use these words throughout this video...
Oh, wait, she's one of them. Why did I say it like that? I mean, okay, yeah, so now I'm realizing is that she might be autistic herself, so let me stop it.
I'm just working with the records I've been given. I don't mean any offense at all. This is just how they were referred to during the period. So I went down a rabbit hole of research in regards to people with disabilities in Tudor England from the 15th and 17th centuries. But before we get into that, I do want to debunk a ton of historical misconceptions that have been written about disabled people in medieval period. That period has already been slandered by the Victorians, and then people in the 20th century started to do it as well, and Oh god. Yeah, we're gonna do that first. This is my botched attempt at a medieval dress.
What the fuck?
I am not a dress historian. Much of the medieval period is plagued with misinformation.
Okay.
Have you ever heard about that one cabinet, like with the spike-covered interior?
Yeah.
That somebody was supposed to step
Yeah.
inside and they would be tortured with
Yeah.
excruciating amounts of pain?
Yeah.
Yeah, that never existed. Well,
Oh,
at least
really?
it didn't exist in literature until the 19th century. Oh, and medieval people did bathe. We are all humans. We like to be clean. Historical
I'm
misconceptions.
about to say, okay, wait, so that contraption, so like that a torture contraption never existed. Okay, I didn't know that. And then I also didn't know that they actually bathed. See, now I thought that they didn't bathe. I thought that bathing was only for like the, you know, for like the royalty, you know, for rich people, if like that made sense.
Conceptions like these have been deliberately written in a time where the government was doing something controversial. For example, during the Victorian period, England was almost at the height of its empire. And empire is a pretty controversial...
Jesus H. Christ, I thought that we were gonna be making fun of some autistic people today, but instead this is a whole fucking history lesson here. I was not expecting this whatsoever. Were you expecting this from that title and thumbnail? Because like this picture was posted as like an out of context screenshot as like a shitpost meme, and I thought that it was funny. And apparently this isn't a joke. This is serious.
subject. The Victorians needed a dreary past to which they would build up the Victorian Empire.
You know, it's like I can't make videos on shit like this because this is actually serious, and like I'm somewhat actually interested in this myself. So that's what I usually do. I usually watch a shit like this like offline, you know, not like on YouTube like as like a video, but I made the grave mistake of trying to make a video out of this. So let me just stop it right here before I say something that'll end up getting me banned off of YouTube. So what am I gonna do for the rest of this video? Alright, so let me stare deep into your eyes and bounce my chest. I'm already bored. Get the hell out of my face, you fat. Did you really sit there and did you really look dead into my eyes as I did that?